Hey everyone, and welcome to the Hopcast.
Thanks for coming back, everyone.
I'm Brad Chmielewski,
My name is Ken Hunnemeder.
and we're going Illinois Belgian beers.
Boom!
Keeping it double dipping.
Yeah, so we've got a couple small breweries that we're featuring today. We have Scorched Earth, and they're out of Algonquin. And then here, right in the city here,
Barely.
is Alarmist from our friend Gary Gelly.
Yeah.
Shut up! Haven't done that in a while.
No, we haven't. Man,
You even forgot.
I forgot. Yeah, that's how long the shout out. We haven't done it. Oh my gosh, we need to give more shout outs.
Yeah, we probably do.
All right. So we have what is this? The photo. I'm gonna say it wrong. Photo. You go for it.
Phobophobia.
So it's the fear of phobias.
Yes.
And then we have from Scorched Earth, right? The Exiled Angel.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So both Belgian style beers, done in kind of the Midwest way, I'm sure. So we'll see what we're in store for.
So this one just says Belgian style ale. This one says Belgian golden ale. So we start with the style?
I really don't even think it matters at this point. Probably just go with
They're
whatever.
probably both pretty much the same.
Yeah, they're the same.
They're the same,
Let's just
yeah.
can
Let's
this
mix them
episode.
together. And let's start with the Alarmist.
Let's do it.
So that poured out a nice, kind of like light golden color. It's not
Yeah,
quite-
very light beer.
It's not bright. It's kind of, I guess, dull.
A slight haze.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we did get a nice fluffy white head going on there.
Yeah, and this is a beer in the Patter style, Patersbier, which is traditionally a beer that is very, very light and refreshing that the monks who traditionally would brew Belgian beers would actually consume themselves.
So like a table beer.
Yes.
So is a table beer different than a Patersbier?
I don't think so.
No.
I think it's a name distinction.
Some dude was like, yeah, this is mine.
I don't know where the name actually comes from, so I'm unclear on that. But
Because this is
what it
really
means.
light. It's 4.8% ABV. So I know Gary's whole theme when he started, 20 years ago, his brewery was
Burn.
to do session beers. And so this kind of fits in with that theme there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like the aroma like kind of fills up the room.
Yeah, it's got a wonderful nose on it, just full of really, really nice yeast character. That's kind of what this beer is about, and it smells like very, very kind of traditional, straight from Belgium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels like you're outside when you take a whiff of it.
Yeah, it's got nice straw characteristics.
Let's give it a taste.
Cheers.
Man, for 4.8%, you get like a ton of stuff in there. Like, there's just a lot going on.
I'm kind of loving this beer.
Wow. You get that grassy, strawy kind of mouth feel, I guess. It kind of like, I want to say like not scratches, but kind of like fills up your mouth a little bit.
Yeah, but it does harken back to kind of, the farm and straw and hay and all the different kind of smells and aromas that come with having an experience like that. But kind of thrown into a beer in a very appropriate way.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm like brushing my horse drinking this.
Yeah, and it's not even like overwhelmingly funky. It just like has this refreshing characteristic to it, but also an underlying complexity going along with that side by side, which is, I mean, that's what you want in a session beer, right? Like high refreshment, but also like, well, all right, I want to know that I'm drinking something.
Yeah, I feel
this like quenches both those thirsts.
It kind of finishes with this orangey lemon kind of flavor too, so it's that like light kind of, I feel like it goes good with food. It kind of brightens up like the zest kind of aspect when you're cooking.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, this is, I mean, just an awesome execution of beer. And, you know, we've known Gary since he was just a home brewer, a very avid home brewer.
Yeah.
So this is kind of one of those cool stories of guy brewing in his backyard with his kids, paying attention to fermentation temperatures and everything that goes along with making beer on a scale that is so small, and now being able to pay attention to that on a much larger scale, although it, you know, in comparison, still being a very small brewery.
Sure, yeah.
It's really cool to see.
Mm-hmm. So this is his second beer in cans. The first one was the Entrenched IPA. And he's continuing this theme of this guy Earl, who's stuck in this corporate world, which I believe is kind of himself. And he wants to get out, and but he's scared. I think if you dive deep into the story here, I think Gary's telling his story.
Dive deep into the mind of Gully. I don't know if anyone wants to do that.
I don't know. It's full of fart jokes.
Maybe I do. I don't know.
But I could see him doing, like, we said it's not funky, but I could see him doing like a Brett version of this beer down the line.
I'm blown away by this. So, and it's not a double IPA. It's not an imperial stout. I mean, this is like a very light beer. It's just executed very, very well. Yeah. So I think that speaks volumes to Gary as a brewer and all the folks over at Alarmist.
Yeah. So we're gonna sip on this. We may dive into the other can and the other cans before we go to the Scorched Earth beers.
Good job, Gary.
Cheers.
Shout out.
All right, well, we dove into all the cans of that.
Drank all the Phobophobia and loved it. So that was nice. Thank you to Alarmist for that. Now to Scorched Earth. We have the Exiled Angel. It's a Belgian-style golden ale.
Okay. So we're expecting... It's a bigger beer, though. It's 7.5.
Yes, it is.
Probably a little... I don't want to say lighter in color. I don't even know what to expect going from a table beer to a golden ale.
I'm assuming the color is going to be about the same.
Okay.
Maybe a touch darker, just based on the concentration of sugar.
Well, it's hard to get lighter than a clear yellow.
Fair. But yeah, this beer does come in at 7.5%, so it's packs a pretty good punch.
Mm-hmm. And then, have you had anything from Scorched Earth?
I have not. No. This is nice. I like to keep up with what's going on in Illinois. I don't feel like I'm doing a very good job at the moment, but yeah. So let's dive into the Scorched Earth.
Did get a little darker of a beer.
Mm-hmm. As expected.
Bigger head. You had like, I don't know, almost 2 fingers.
Yeah, real nice head on this one.
Which makes me think it's a little more hopped up. It does have more alcohol, so sometimes you throw more hops in there, kind of brighten up those flavors, bring it out more.
Also, depending on certain malts that are used, will provide more head retention, and also yeast will do that as well.
Yeah.
So it's like literally any part of the process.
Yeah, all right.
It could come from. It smells real nice.
Yeah, it does.
It's very clean.
You don't get straw, you get more like grass. Kind of nice.
I'm getting a little bit of like fusel alcohol off of it.
Okay.
Slight banana nose.
Mm-hmm. It smells nice.
Kind of like what you would typically expect for.
Yeah. Let's give it a try.
Yeah.
Scorched Earth. Oh, okay, coming off of a 4.8% beer, like I get a booze. I get booze, like that's just because I think our palate hasn't adjusted to that, like coming from such a light beer.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels sweeter and heavier, definitely.
Yeah, I mean certainly going to be a little bit sweeter based on alcohol percentage alone. and it has kind of like a honey type of flavor to it, which is pretty pleasant. I mean, it's a very balanced beer, I'll say that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the honey, like almost like a stickiness in your mouth, like it, the Alarmist, like very carbonated and filled up your mouth. This one feels like it like clings to every inch in there.
Yeah, I think that's coming just based on going from here to here. I don't think this beer is like cloyingly sweet. I really don't. I think it's just based on, how big of a beer it is.
Right. Okay.
I remember when like 7.5% on the Hopcast was not that high.
Yeah, we're like these are session beers,
baby beers, and now
we're like, whoa.
We're getting well into our 30s now, and we're like, whoa.
It's like 9 o'clock. It's almost my bedtime. I got.
Yeah. So yeah, times have definitely changed for us.
But I'm kind of digging this. We haven't seen much from Scorched Earth. And it's kind of a good introduction to them.
Yeah, they're out in Algonquin, which is a suburb of Chicago here in Illinois.
Similar to Aurora.
Sure. And I'm digging this beer too. I just think it's a really nice example of the style. It's I think Belgian beer is one that American brewers don't always nail right away.
Okay.
And I think they're doing a really good job at honing in on the tradition of Belgian beer.
I feel like we have a lot of breweries in Illinois that do Belgian beers because we have Pete Crowley, we have Goose Island, and they kind of looked at the older styles to kind of go off of. So
and there's many more than that too. That you look at Penrose as well.
Right.
They're all focused on Belgian beer, and then you have all the brew pubs that dabble in Belgian beer. But you're starting to see more and more breweries that strictly focus on Belgian beer, and that's what they do.
Right.
They may venture off and make an IPA here and again, but like their main focus is Belgian style ales.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but it is weird that I feel like we have a concentration of them here more so than the West Coast is very much IPAs and like bigger beers, and Chicago Midwest beers are more like, we want you to drink these for a long time because we know you like to drink.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. I think brewers tend to like Belgian beer based solely on tradition and maybe even some of the process behind making Belgian beer. The West Coast market, I don't know if it was ready for those style of beers. They were ready for big, huge IPAs, so that's what they got, like that, and that's what's sold. And you see a little bit of the turn of the market where some of those styles are starting to be appreciated out there as well. But I think to your point, I think you're right on. Like Chicago has always kind of embraced that style, at least in the last say 15 years.
Well, we do have like a bar crawl kind of city. Like, all right, I'm going to go to this place and this place. Let's keep going. Where if you're in anywhere in California, you're kind of like, maybe 2 places and that's it. I still have to drive home, so I can have like one IPA here and one there where we're like, I had 3 Belgian Pales, I had a quad, and I just kept going. And so it's kind of a different mentality.
Those people in California have never experienced St. Bernardus 12, which is a shame. Because you had to drive home, you fuck.
Damn.
Get a bottle to go.
But don't drink in your car.
That's not what I meant. Yes, correct.
Whew, all right, just clarify. But yeah.
That message was Hopcast approved.
Scorched Earth. Yeah, check them out. Algonquin. I don't know any of their other beers they make. I've seen them at festivals. Yeah, dig them.
Yeah, I'm really digging this beer. So I shout out to those guys.
Shout out.
Making Belgian beer is kind of tough to tackle. It's you can't just throw Belgian yeast in it and call it a Belgian style beer. It has to have a little bit extra.
You can.
You certainly can. You're right, Brad. But I think that, they've kind of honed in on that and made something that really speaks to the tradition of where these beers came from.
Well, we'll finish this up, move on to the next one too, and
yeah,
keep
gladly.
drinking.
Cheers.